right, listen to this. A Minnesota millionaire exposing a massive welfare loophole by cashing in on SNAP benefits, food stamps, for 19 months as one state lawmaker now fights to change the requirement rules for this program. And they're both here to weigh in on why eligibility requirements. Sorry about that. It should be stricter. Sorry, guys. Rob Undersander and State Senator Jeff Howe joining me this morning. Thanks, guys, for coming on. Rob, we're going to start with you. I mean, you're a rich guy. How on earth are taxpayers paying for your food?
Well, Mr. Schmidt, that's the way the laws are written. I was really surprised to learn that. I was doing some work with the Central Minnesota Council on Aging, receiving formal training for that, and they passed out SNAP applications in the event that we would help seniors fill them out, and explained that eligibility in Minnesota is based on income only, in comparison with many other programs that they had taught us about that are based on an ascending levels of income and assets. In other words, if a person has money in the bank, 10, 20,000, whatever, or in my case more, they are not eligible, should not be eligible for food stamps in my case, but they said eligibility only, and I thought, my wife and I were retired, drawing very little income, and I thought I might be eligible for this, so I filled it out, took it to the county, and 3 weeks later, I'm getting food stamps, and I'm really somewhat appalled. So I contacted my state senator, Jeff Howe, and Jeff, you can tell them what happened then.
Well, and we started working on this back in, I believe, 16. Wrote some legislation, and we basically took what used to be the federal asset test and applied that. And what happened was we struggled to get a hearing. And when we did get a hearing, it was pretty ugly. Instead of trying to help us find common ground on how we actually make this program work and close those loopholes, they actually attacked Mr. Undersander and accused him of doing wrongdoing when actually the county fraud investigators looked at him and actually said he did everything above board.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't break.
In my opinion,
he didn't break any rules, right? I mean, he didn't do anything wrong. That's the way they're set.
No, the program is set that way, and matter of fact, I would say that Mr. Undersander was cheap labor because he audited this program, showed us where the flaws were for under $6,000.
I mean, it's crazy to think that
we've been working
when you see something like this and then you see pushback, when you guys are out there showing them this problem, and Jeff, you have a better way to do this, right? You have a better way that'll stop this kind of misuse.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, we worked through the program, and we actually had a pretty good bill this last year, and they still, instead of trying to help us find common ground, push back and say, no, there's no problem. There's very few people doing this. And we don't believe that we don't know how big the problem is. And unless we put the parameters up and close the loophole that allows this to happen, we will never know how big the problem is.
And you can see here on the map some of the states that have this, the different restrictions by state here, and how there are so many states that don't really have a test in place to check on this thing. I mean, Rob, were you shocked to see this type of a thing? I mean, I can't imagine that, I don't think you're a scammer. I think you're somebody that's trying to make a change.
I was shocked, and yesterday we took our story to the nation's capital, was invited to attend a congressional hearing, the House Ag Committee, and had almost an identical response. The Democrats wanted to send me to jail, and the irony is that I was complying with laws that they support.
Right. I mean, that is just the wildest thing in the world. Gentlemen, we got to leave it there. Yeah. We do appreciate your time and telling this great story this morning. It is unbelievable. Thank you so much.
We'll continue to work on it.
Yes. Hope you do.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right.